Hello and welcome to this very special conversation. I've generally not done a backstage with Boria with colleagues, but today, two illustrious colleagues and a very important issue. And, something that all of us need to be more educated on. And that is why the two best people on this particular subject had to be requested to please come on this show. So I'm grateful. I deeply appreciate Mr. KP Mohan. All of us know KP sir. KP sir joining us. Thank you very much, Mr. Mohan. We appreciate you joining us. I know you do not want to be seen, but that's okay with me. As long as we get your audio, I'm fine. And my dear friend Raja Raman. So both
Correct.
of them,
I think you're
yes, sir.
welcome.
Please.
I'm happy to be in conversation with you and Raja.
Thank you, sir. Raja Raman, all of us know, a colleague, esteemed colleague, very close friend of mine, so I don't need to introduce him. KP sir, to you first. Another case today, Kamal Preet, decorated athlete. This question I had asked you on the phone some time back, that while there is growing awareness, this, is becoming more and more, violations are becoming more and more rampant. Why?
Uh, this is uh, this is about 7 months old. This is
Yes.
taken this much for an agreed sanction or a prompt admission or whatever you might call it. Awareness is one part. I think, as I was talking to you earlier, at the international level, athletes do not require much of awareness to understand what can be taken, what should not be taken, what are the dangers of taking supplements, etc., etc. If they are very young athletes who have never been to an international meet or who have never been tested by either an international agency or a domestic agency, then I can understand that they do require some kind of education, and which I believe NADA has been doing rather very vigorously, energetically during the last 1.5 years or so. So we should start seeing the results of not less of doping cases, but more of athletes telling you that yes, we are aware of all the dangers of doping and the consequences. What
Okay.
happens nowadays is the middle rung athlete will come to a hearing and tell the panel that, sir, I didn't know about this substance, I didn't know about this, I wasn't aware of the consequences, etc., etc. So that has to come down. That kind of argument has to come down. But as far as Kamal Preet is concerned, I think she must have been tested in the past. She has participated in a few international competitions in the past. So there cannot be any excuse as far as Kamal Preet Kaur is concerned.
Okay. Sir, Raja, same question to you. While there is growing awareness, even during the national games, you were there. One could see photographs, one could see tweets of classes being taken, educative programs happening, all of that happening. But at the same time, cases are growing and this is becoming more and more rampant. Your thoughts on this and how do we control this?
My own take, Boria, is very simple, that the rewards that we give our athletes in our country are more than ample. I think those are tempting enough for athletes sometimes to take shortcuts. I'm not saying specific athletes have done this, but the reward system in our country is so beautiful that temptation will always be there, even among our elite athletes. To win medals at the Asian Games level or at the Commonwealth level, not to speak of the world level, brings along lots of money for them, lots of fame as well. I think that is one huge attraction for elite athletes. At the lower level, people want jobs, they want college admissions, so therefore they indulge in doping, some of them. Now, we cannot generalize and say that this is the reason. Different things for different people, but there are plenty of reasons why people dope. Unfortunately, many of them, despite being aware of the health issues, do indulge in doping and hope that they don't get caught. But as our friend Adil Sumariwala, President of Athletic Federation of India, and Sardev Yadav, President of the Weightlifting Federation of India, both say that there is no escape from being caught someday or the other.
Sir, same question. I mean, basically from where Raja ended, Mr. Mohan, athletics is your domain. So let me take you to athletics. I mean, in recent times, and all of us see your tweets, we get educated by it. How does this problem get solved? I mean, you told me on the phone that at least you are seeing positive steps by NADA in terms of testing. testing is happening, but you also mentioned you want to see more and more out of competition testing. Thoughts on it?
That's right. There cannot be any solution to this straight away. It might take years, it might never end. But more awareness program, yes, more testing. And those who are taking shortcuts will finally decide that it's not worth it and then end this. This hasn't ended at the world level also. This is not going to end in India also. So I don't think that we can say what is the solution to this. The solution is for NADA to test more and more, catch more and more at international level athletes, and that should serve as a kind of a lesson for the junior rung as well as for the unknown athlete, that it doesn't pay. It doesn't pay to sort of, as Raja rightly said, that these attractive incentives are there. The athlete at a lower level might be attracted towards those incentives, a few crore of rupees or a house or a car or something like that. So the athlete at the lower level, the second rung, will be able to understand that this is not going to pay. I'll get unnecessarily suspended. I'll earn a bad name for the country, as well as for myself, as well as for my state, etc. And that solution can be had only with NADA catching hold of all these people. It's easy to target these athletes. You can note their performance today, and you can again note it after 6 months or whatever it is. If there is a drastic improvement, then you start testing those athletes more frequently than you are doing now, and they'll get, as he said, that Adil Sumariwala and Sadev Yadav both are saying that one day you are going to be caught. One day, I hope it comes, that one day will come as quickly as possible, not after the retirement of the athlete or towards the end of the career.
Before I go to Raja sir, one more question. You said, clearly we in the media also haven't done much. I mean, can you talk to us about it? What do you want to see the media do? I mean, you mentioned one in the Hindu, one in the Indian Express in terms of op-eds. How does the media also create more awareness? Your thoughts on that before I go to Raja on that?
I mentioned the recent editorials in New Indian Express and one which appeared, I think, yesterday or day before yesterday. And that has highlighted these recent problems. And said that even though NADA is testing more frequently and perhaps more numbers also, we don't know what the numbers will be. And as I told you, more out of competition testing is required. Media has to I think, take up all these issues and highlight it to the extent possible. There seems to be, I think, I'll be accused of being a critic of cricket or cricket-oriented stories or cricket type of stories or personalities and things like that. National games got good coverage, but at the same time, apart from NADA doing it, I don't think that there is any effort by the media overall, print media especially. The other media, of course, doesn't have much of time to show anything. In fact, most of the other media. So print media especially has to take it up and sort of highlight the problems that confront athletics, weightlifting, to a lesser extent wrestling, boxing, judo, cycling, swimming, etc., etc., etc. And this has to be brought out in such a fashion that the authorities will take more note of it and then take more action.
Okay. Raja, same question.
In towards eradicating or towards trying to reduce.
Yeah. Raja, same question. I mean, both you and I know our mission. I mean, we will cover all of the sports critically, constructively, critically, and that's why this program. And I've been pursuing you to try and do this for a long, long time. So thoughts on it? How do you see this? How do we control? How do we create more awareness? How do we improve? I mean, how do we improve the situation that is? Raja.
Boria, it might seem utopian, but I have always said that if one athlete who is sanctioned for, let's say, 4 years is told to return the money that was invested in him or her training by the government of India, let us say, then I think it will become exemplary. One athlete is punished, not just a sanction. 4 years, some of them come back and compete, which is good. They have served their time out. But if there is a monetary part to it, don't send them to jail. Ask them to just return the money that was invested in them in a program, in their training program and in competition. then I think the athletes will be very wary of what they consume and how they consume. Also, there is some of the cases that KP sir is in a better space to tell us. Many coaches have been named by their athletes in hearings, but there has been no action against coaches, except one instance where a coach in Maharashtra was banned for 4 years by the Maharashtra Athletics Association for injecting an athlete with a banned substance. Now, the athlete was serving time. She was given a 4-year term, 4-year ban. It was reduced to 2 years, but there has been no central action against coach like this. I think it's important also for NADA to arm itself with teeth to stop coaches from taking the athletes in the wrong direction.
So that is the last question then.
Yeah.
What Raja just said, sir. What about coaches? I mean, athletes ko to aap punish kar doge, but what about coaches? That's the last question.
Well, I think the coaches can be punished, and there is a provision for punishing the coaches as well. But when it comes to evidence gathering, I think NADA is not able to. I think NADA is understaffed at this point of time for them to seriously engage themselves in going after the coaches. Some of the coaches are known for this, and they have to be brought to book. But I wouldn't, at this point, I wouldn't blame NADA, except that, as Raja mentioned, one case in Maharashtra. I think the Maharashtra State Association has taken action. Those details are available with NADA. NADA should bring it forward in front of a disciplinary panel, and then give whatever suspension has been given or can be given, give another suspension to him, which will be the formal suspension. You cannot depend on a Maharashtra State Association suspending. You can depend on NADA. That will be the first time I think the NADA will act. I have sort of come across, or I have heard of instances where athletes will say, my coach gave it, but there has been no follow-up action. I think there should also be follow-up action on doctors giving prescriptions for nandrolone or testosterone or methendianone or things like that for some knee pain or ankle pain or back pain or things like that. I think concerned medical and health ministry authorities can be informed to initiate action against such doctors who sort of recklessly prescribe these kind of medications.
Okay.
This won't stand.
Raja, last 1 minute to you.
And this won't stand.
Finishes. Yes, sir.
Yeah. If you give these kind of prescriptions and the athlete gets away, this will not stand a case hearing. That's what happens, sir. This will not stand a case hearing. So it is better to nip it in the bud at the Indian level itself rather than allow it to be publicized at the international level. So doctors have to be careful. I think TUEs have been denied also, and even after TUE has been denied, there was a recent case which went in favor of athlete. I must also say that the Indian panels by far had been able to sort of give the maximum possible sanctions against athletes who have tested positive.
Raja.
KP sir was alluding to doctors writing stanozolol. I mean, there is no medication called stanozolol. It's a substance. But what he's alluding to is instances of doctors just writing the name of a substance which is banned, as if they've prescribed it for treatment. Now, these doctors also need to be at least cautioned by the relevant authorities for us to stop doping. But really, we need political will, we need collective will, Boria. If you have to stop doping, and it is again a very utopian concept, but if you want to bring it down, I think India collectively needs to say that we are against doping. We don't want medals at any cost. We want fair medals. We want clean medals. But the argument is the whole world is doing doping. So why can't we even try that? But yes, you want a clean sport. You want fair play for everybody, at all levels, not just at the international level, at the domestic level as well. It's very important that people remain clean and play good sport that you and I can enjoy, Boria, and everybody else can.
Okay, I'll end there. In fact, one of my mentors in Canada, Professor Bruce Kidd, with who I've taught, somebody I've got the greatest of respect for and is internationally known for many, many cases. Bruce used to tell me that we used to go to international competitions, see a body, and we used to say, oh, this is a winner's body, but this is a moral body. because one could see and understand that what is going on. So this is not new. This has been going on for ages, but as we started with saying that more and more cases coming to light, maybe because testing is happening. There's no straitjacket answer, as both my distinguished guests pointed out, Mr. Mohan and Rajaraman. All we can do is try and create awareness. All we can do is try and do our part. Mr. Mohan, I know this was quite a scoop. I've been told that you generally don't come with your voice or your visual. So in that sense, it's a very sincere thank you.
Thanks. I don't.
Yes, sir. No, but the blame is not to me. The blame is to Raja. He's the one who instigated me, saying, "Get sir. Otherwise, I'm not doing this show."
I think both.
So Raja
I should thank both of you.
No, sir. Seriously, it was our pleasure. Because ultimately, if people listen to you, they will learn. Athletes listen, people listen. It will be an educative experience listening to you and Rajaraman. According to me, the two top authorities on this matter in India. Raja, as a colleague, thank you very, very much. Mr. Mohan, thank you very much. And I hope this
Thank you for doing this, Boria. Thank you for doing this. We need to create greater awareness among elite athletes and development athletes and even the grassroots athletes. So your show will go a long way in creating some kind of awareness among them that doping is a no-no.
Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.